Sawadi Sauchibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunadahitam Satguruntam Namami. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Bow down to Swamiji, requesting him to bless us with today's insights so that it becomes part of us, part of our powerful cognition to live by. So welcome back again, those of you who just joined the Zoom or the social media. And we're going to continue with the insights from the Avatar lesson number 2. We started last week, so today we're going to expound on 4 more clicks, 4 more insights. So let's get into the next slide. So just to recap what Swamiji said about the power of satsang, he said whenever a sincere seeker melts down in the deep trust and relaxes, the transmission of the land happens automatically. Whether you are sitting physically with me or not, that is the power of satsang. So understand the physical presence is immaterial in the presence of an avatar, an incarnation. What is more important is when you receive the knowledge, the sacred knowledge of the truth, if you are able to receive it in deep trust and melt down, that means something happened inside you that caused a certain energy shift or cognitive shift. Understand, that means the transmission of the land already happened. So that is the blessing or the grace of the Guru. So let's enter into the first click for this session. So this is actually the 5th click because the last week we covered 4. So every week I will cover 4 clicks. So today is the 5th one. So he said your phobias are only mood swings. Phobias means what? Fear, right? You can name thousands of different phobias that ever recorded by human beings. But when Swamiji gives you this statement, he said, all phobias are nothing but mood swings. And you're like, huh? Mood swing? That means what? Something I can just go beyond it, right? Mood swing means you can just come out of mood swing. So he said, when phobias are in the initial level, it is called mood swing. Let's say you have some fear of something, it is mood swing. When mood swings are strengthened over a period of time because you keep repeating the same phobia, same fear, it gets entrenched, it gets strengthened, and they are now called phobia. Okay, it means becoming like a pattern of fear on something, whether it's fear of snake, fear of lack of space, something like that. If it happen again and again, it becomes phobia. Otherwise, if it's at initial level, maybe 1-2 times you experience a mood swing. So he said that when somebody comes to me with a mood swing, I don't keep quiet. I remind them in all possible way, which means as a guru, he will continuously remind the seeker or the devotee. Even the basic truths needs to be reminded. See, sometimes when Swamiji gives a lot of basic truth or some truth, like morning yoga, he again had to remind us, please be integrated to the morning routine like yoga, because that's where you create a conscious breakthrough. That's where you build consistency. Consistency is God. So again, he has to remind some of these very basic things because we tend to forget. Forgetfulness is one of the problems of humanity. When you're not conscious or when you're not aware, you tend to forget. That's the reality. even forget who you are. That's the whole problem. That's why you're stuck in the samsara, the cycle of birth and death. So that's why we need a guru to come down in human form to again remind us of this great truth and who we are. So see, he said the guru boils you like a potato. When you have a guru, he will constantly chisel your rough edges, that is your samskara, your patterns, your fear, all that thing. He said a potato tries to jump out of the pot during the boiling. When the guru is working on you, trying to remove the tumor of ego, and you try to escape, you try to run away from the operating theater where he's the master surgeon. Same way, like you are the potato that he's boiling and you're trying to jump out of the pan or the boiling pot. So he said, don't do that. Don't do it, okay? Wait. Your mind may say, how can I suppress this? How can I kill it by suppressing it? He said, only by suppressing it dies. That's what he says. Next slide. So there are some phobias that are the result of some evil happenings in the past life. Let's say in the past life something happened to you and it again manifests in this present birth. Say not all phobias are evil happening. He said you may be wondering, what is evil happening? How do you define evil happening? So he said, understand, if anything that happened in the past life is affecting your present moment and your future, that is an evil happening. Like for instance, you're stuck with the fear of let's say in your past birth, you committed suicide and you died in the water. You jumped into the ocean and drowned, for instance. Okay, or you had an accident and you drowned in the flood, for instance. Okay, so that became a phobia of water, for instance. So this life, when you come close to water, your body will have this discomfort. You see water, you have this natural fear. Oh, you don't want to get into the water. You don't want to swim. You don't want to, even learn to swim, which is nothing but a sheer enjoyment if you know how to swim, right? So, but because of some past evil happening, like a mishap happened in you that you died in the due to some water incident. So in this birth you have this fear of water. So this is becoming an evil happening, because in this present moment, every time you come to the ocean or the swimming pool, you don't feel comfortable, and that affects your future as well. So anything which does not affect your present and future is not an evil happening. Understand? So that is Swamiji's way of explaining what phobia can become an evil happening. So look inside. What are the evil happening that you're carrying still in this body? Okay, like fear of insecurity. Like for instance, if you don't feel secure, you feel that you're going to collapse, or you feel that you're going to fall into like a free fall. Security means what? You need to feel the ground that you're standing, and the guru will take away the ground and you feel that, oh, you're standing on the space and you're going to fall in the bottomless pit, in the abyss, right? So the only way to get over the phobia is to untiringly, means without being tired, remind yourself that they have no basis in your current experiences. Understand? That means don't give life to your phobia. Your phobia is nothing but like mood swings. But don't allow yourself to entertain this, phobia. So you need to consciously remind yourself that these fears do not exist. They do not have, they're like shadow, they don't have a solid existence in you. Whether it is a phobia or a mood swing, there is only one thing to watch. Are they able to repeat something in a greater frequency? That means, are they going to repeat again in a higher frequency, or are you going to repeat it in greater frequency? So this is a question you ask yourself. Are the phobias more powerful, or are you more powerful? If you feel that they are more powerful, then you have given your power to the phobia, the fear. If you feel that, oh, I'm more powerful than the fear, than the phobia, they should be scared when when I become Gara Vairava, when I become, the ferocious part of me, all the phobia should be shaken and run away. So that is a decision you need to make. If your phobia says life is bad 100 times, life is terrible, life is meaningless, life is shitty, right? If your phobia tells you, can you repeat life is good 120 times? Which you mean 20 times you outdo the phobia, the negative part of your mind. So that is going to decide whether you're going to get out of the phobia or not. That's all. So fundamentally is how much you're able to sustain, to overcome with a higher frequency of this fear or phobia constantly coming back on you. If they say you're going to come 100 times, are you going to outdo them by 120 times? So if you can outdo them by 120 times, then be very clear, you will be able to get out of the phobias. So that's all. So the fundamental thing is become more powerful than your fear or your mood swing. That's why Swamiji said, be ferocious with yourself. Be ferocious with all your patterns and your samskara, your engraved memories. Next slide. So now, this is very true to many people who carry phobias or your mood swing. Please, I'd like you to pen down what phobias are you still having. Please contemplate, okay? Like fear of losing your job, fear of not enough to sustain yourself, fear of public speaking, fear of the unknown, fear of sickness, whatever may be. Okay, please take a paper and pen. If you have a book of heart, take this as a kind of a spiritual journey you have with Swamiji. Take your book of heart, like a notebook that you work on yourself. It's just like in Inner Awakening when we attend the 21-day program with Swamiji. He make us basically he make us write, pen down. See, this writing is a conscious action. When you write down, you become clear about your thought current and also how your mind works. And so do it. We'll take a few minutes for this because this is going to be fundamental. If you are still suffering from any phobias right now, write it down. Okay? Okay, so write down the phobias and contemplate where this fear start, when it started, or when was a recent time you experienced this fear again. It could be yesterday, it could be like quite recently. So just become aware that what you're entertaining, what your mind is entertaining, that cause you to have this the effect of the phobia on you, or the mood swing on you. Or somebody have fear of death, right? So scared of dying because of the attachment to the physical form, the body. And the body is ephemeral, right? It's going to be perishable. It's here for a short period of time. And nobody can live forever. At some point in time, you're going to exit body. Everyone will go through that same, the same process of death. So then, why is the fear? If you carry the fear of death, then write it down, because what it means is that all this phobia is an indication of certain blind spot that you have. That means you are not aware of certain truth that keeps the phobia alive. It means certain truth about you that you are not aware, which keeps the fear or the phobia alive in you. So please contemplate on that. If you understand there's nothing to fear because you will be able to handle it, then understand you are established in the conscious part of you rather than the unconscious part, which is the mind. Okay? So if you have any question, you can also post it onto the chat. We can come back later on. Okay, Kena, go on to the second insight. Give me a thumbs up if you're all ready to, or you're still writing your fear. Huh? Are you still writing? Like sometimes people fear authority. You know, when they see someone more powerful and more successful, they're so scared of them. Do you have fear of authoritative figure? Like someone in power, someone in hierarchy. Do you have that fear? Or you have fear of darkness, for instance. Like some people are scared of darkness. Or some people are scared of going to a place they are not familiar. Every time they go to a new place, they are scared. So just write down whatever fear that you are entertaining inside you without your knowledge. Okay. Let's go to the second insight. All right. So the next insight, number 6, for this week, is we're going to find out your greatest enemy based on Swamiji's definition of the greatest enemy. He said, one of the greatest enemies of your sadhana or enlightenment or achievement is laziness. He said, if you have this pattern of laziness, be very clear, you have a big enemy. Okay? He said, once the laziness enters into your system, nothing can be done. Even the guru cannot help you. Okay? He said, any big idea tomorrow, immediately your mind will say, good idea, great ideas, but tomorrow is a good day to start. Okay, let me just start tomorrow. So you postpone, laziness, out of laziness. So our elders always say you should find out the right day, the right time to start something new, right? You give some kind of reason. Oh, my mom say or my grandmother say, I have to find when is the right day to start this new adventure. So you postpone, you don't start immediately. And then after some day, you forgot about that. You forgot the inspiration that given by the divine, by the guru. And you, by and by, after that, you just totally forgot and nothing happened. Okay, so this is laziness. So understand laziness is maya, illusion. So understand that have no sympathy towards laziness. You have to be ferocious. That's why Swamiji, ferociousness is one way to get you out of laziness. Laziness is like a demon. Like a demon sitting inside you, controlling you, making you miss so many things in life, making you live in a lower consciousness, etc. So no question of allowing laziness in your body or in your mind. So the first lesson they teach, he said in Zen Buddhism, okay, in Zen Buddhism, the first thing they teach is awakening your whole system. So they break the whole laziness pattern by very, very, the way of the Zen is based on silent sitting, right? So it's like a lot of dhyana. You can easily slip into laziness in the name of silent sitting. So see, like in Zen Buddhism, they do a lot of meditation, right, dhyana. And sometimes a lot of people hide their laziness by pretending to be sitting in dhyana, but they are not actually in dhyana. They are actually sleeping or they're doing some kind of, non-active thing. So next slide. So what they do? So the very word Zen means dhyana, right? Dhyana, meditation. Zazen means silent sitting. Okay, Zazen is the word given to sit silently with yourself. You can be very easily slip into laziness in the name of silent sitting. That is, like the Maya, the trapping. You can also very easily slip into that laziness in the name of samadhi, right? People say, oh, I'm in samadhi, but you're in nidra, right? you're sleeping rather than samadhi. So Zen first breaks that mental setup of laziness. So when you go to the Zen master, the first thing he breaks is your laziness. You need to first break the mental setup of laziness to work on your engraved memories, your engrams, your patterns, and create a new awakened lifestyle. So this is, catch this, okay? If you want to manifest a breakthrough in your life, in your lifestyle, in your mental setup, break the laziness pattern first. This is the first step. Only when you have broken laziness pattern, then you can work on all the different engraved memories, fear, greed, anger, what you call that, frustration, all kinds of different patterns that is engraved memories that you have. Understand? So first thing, work on laziness. That's why in yoga, in spiritual yoga is given, hatha yoga is given the first thing to break all your laziness, purify your body, to make you active. Activism is the right way to exist, because only when you become active, you can start working on the more refined things like your patterns and have a new awakened lifestyle. So understand? Break laziness, the mental setup of laziness. Not just, see, laziness can be classified in different level. Physical laziness, not wanting to move the body, like to slouch and like to just lie on the bed or lie on the couch. Inactive lifestyle, sedentary lifestyle, right? So that is physical laziness. Swamiji said that physical laziness, when you don't do your part to maintain this body, to be very clear, you won't get to use very long, because maintaining the body is going to be a problem. You can't even maintain this physical body because you'll be sick, because you never do anything for it to maintain it. Just like how a machine, right? You don't maintain a machine, it's going to break down in no time. Same thing, if your body, you're physically lazy, don't want to move, want only to sit and lie down, then be very clear. You're going to create a physical laziness which is going to destroy your physical health. Okay, so that is, then the mental laziness. There's another mental laziness, not just physical laziness. I remember he talked about mental laziness, which is this, like what he mentioned about postponing. Oh, okay, let me do it some other day. Let me just come back to it another time. So you don't get into the action immediately. You just keep shifting your commitment to have a breakthrough. So that is mental laziness. Okay? So don't even entertain any of this laziness. Okay? Now, Zen monasteries have a tradition. If we go to the Zen monastery, this is what they do. They have a tradition where even the master, the master who is the head of the monastery, will not have food if he does not work for a certain number of hours. Let's say he's the master. Every day he has a clock. Physical work for 8 hours and mental work for 8 hours, meaning sadhana for 8 hours and some other teaching or learning for 8 hours. So total 16 hours you have to work. Okay, this is the way they break the laziness pattern in the keeping people active, alive all the time in the monastery. And only when you clock the number of hours, you get food to eat, that you are worthy of being given food. So that is the way how in Zen monastery they operate. They build this kind of a tradition to make sure that the people living in the monastery are not lazy. Next slide.
That's how they break laziness.
That's how they break your laziness. You work 8 hours and then do your own sadhana for 8 hours. Okay, so 60. So a teacher works mentally when he teaches. Disciple works mentally when they learn, right? So 8 hours of physical work and 8 hours of mental work. That last 8 hours, you will naturally rest in consciousness. This is the way how it works. Okay? So 1/3 you focus on physical work. Then another 1/3 you focus on a mental work, whether it's teaching or learning. Okay, whether you go and read Bhagavad Gita, read Swamiji's Living Enlightenment book, or watch a satsang, anything that is the mental work, or you teach, you give lessons. So that is mental work, right? You're a teacher, you're acharya, you teach. So in both ways, that is the 1/3 of the 24 hours. The last 8 hours is for you to rest in consciousness. That means you are resting in the higher frequency of deep sleep, and then also in silence. Okay, so that is the way in Zen monastery they design the lifestyle. There will not be any unexhausted engraved memories engrained. So the sleep will be deep sleep, because by then you're ready to just stretch your leg and fall into deep sleep when it's time to rest. Only when you don't work 8 hours physically and 8 hours mentally, you will have stress sleep, disturbed sleep, disturbed memory, and disturbed mental setup the next day. Understand? Yeah, have you seen people who are too free? When they're too free, they think of all the nonsense, they worry about all the nonsense, they try to disturb others, they try to do all kinds of funny things, not only they harm themselves, they harm others. Because they're too free, they're not fully occupied. When they're too free, they create mess in their life, they create suffering in others people's life. That is the problem. I've seen people too free, especially many people in the name of semi-retirement. Sounds familiar? In the name of semi-retirement, go and torture the people around them. Because they have nothing to do, so they look around. Oh, okay, let me just do this, torture this person, tell this person to. Hello? That is what happens when people don't work intensely. That's why Swamiji, in Swamiji's Sangha, he made us so occupied, whether it's attend darshan with him, listen to him, attend, training program, conducted by other acharyas, or inner awakening, or in the Paramashivam, or even teaching, doing Sangha work. He constantly keep us busy, active, engaged in some way or another in his mission, in him, so that we are maintaining a high consciousness. Understand? So some people, when they don't understand, they think, come to Swamiji is like torture, he make us work non-stop, I'm so tired, that kind of thing. No, if you maintain your body, you'll be able to keep up, you'll be able to do the 8 hours and of physical work, 8 hours of the mental work, and then plus, other Sangha work. So that's why this is the way he keep us actively engaged. I remember when I was in the yoga program, the 3 months yoga program in 2016, from October to December, 3 months. I think he handpicked about 100 of us to live around him, okay, in his courtyard. So we do the work. That time I was doing causing, enriching and causing. And I get an opportunity to see how Swamiji lived his active lifestyle. You can't imagine the way how he hardly sleep, one thing. And from the morning till the night time, you see him go take classes, and you see him do initiation. That time we were preparing for Sadashiva home, and he was energizing the alchemy product and teaching us power manifestation. so busy that he's fully occupied every day. And we'll just live around him like this. And so somehow we catch his bio memory or muscle memory of that activism when we live around him. That is the beauty of living around the guru. You catch their lifestyle, their muscle memory, what the gurus, how he lived, you catch that as part of your muscle memory as well. So living around the master is like one of the greatest blessings. You just basically mirror his neurons and his muscle memory as well. So he said you will not feel as if you slept. So basically when you don't keep yourself active, that's where you have disturbed sleep, you have disturbed mental setup, everything is disturbed. So you can't sleep well. That's why people suffering from insomnia, okay? People who have insomnia or disturbed sleep. Okay, of course, insomnia is a more severe sleep disorder. Like disturbed sleep, maybe sometimes you get it in a certain time of the month, maybe due to chemical changes, whatsoever. But if it become a regular thing that you're not able to sleep continuously for many months, having sleepless night, be very clear, that is a sleep disorder, insomnia, okay? So then that needs to be addressed. Next slide. So laziness in a nutshell is one of the worst engrams, one of the worst engraved memories you should not entertain at all. It is not even an engram. It is almost like your breathing. Anyone who leaves the ashram due to the laziness engram will not be accepted back. No question of coming back. Understand? Swamiji make people leave the ashram if they are lazy. He will not take them back. He said that if they leave because of some other engram like lust, he will go and get married and suffer for a few years and then they come back, crawl back, okay, marriage is not for me, I supposed to take sannyas, but then I go and, due to my last pattern, I go and get married and then I come back. He said, these kind of people, after they learn the lessons, the guru will take them back. Understand? But even for anger pattern, right? You have anger pattern, you scream and shout, and when they leave, they're out of anger, they left the guru and then they come back after some time. These kind of people, so when you express your anger in the society, you will get nicely beaten up, right? You go to society and you show your angry face to some of people, you surely get beaten up, right? This kind of mental setup will be broken. That means either life teach you or your spouse teach you, somehow you'll be beaten up. He said, but if you have laziness, nobody can save you, not even guru will not even want you back. Understand? So never entertain laziness. This is the worst enemy, the biggest enemy for any seeker. If you are a seeker, burn that laziness pattern with your ferociousness, your agni, your fire, just burn it. Make sure that they never stay inside your body. Okay? That is the biggest thing. You just look around the people who have laziness pattern. See how much they destroy their life. Just look around. You don't need to look very far. Just people around you, your colleagues, your family members, your relatives, your siblings. Just look around. People with this pattern of laziness. Where?
B, start with B one.
Oh wait, I come back to that. Okay, next slide. Okay, so if you have greed, then you go and learn the lesson of greed in Gram, right? Let's say you're greedy, you want to be a millionaire, you want to have lots of money, right? You go and you left the guru and just go and accumulate. What you need to do and what need not do, if you want to come back, right? But if there is a laziness engraved memories in Gram, and if they leave, nothing can be done. Understand? They leave because of laziness. Laziness is the non-return zone of spirituality, which means if you get into laziness, you can't come back. Enlightenment the Viveha Samadhi, okay? It means even entering into that Samadhi, laziness, both are non-return zone. Viveha Samadhi it's a zone of Samadhi. See, Samadhi has got many different layers, different potentials. So, he said when you reach this Samadhi called Viveda Samadhi, that means you will never fall back into the unconscious. You will be able to stay in that state forever. Same, it's like you can never return back to the old you, the unconscious you. Same way, he said for laziness, both are non-return zone. When you entertain laziness, you can't come back. So get out whatever you can of your laziness pattern. So if you're caught in laziness, you can never be lifted. That means what? Even the Guru can't even lift you up. So if you're relaxing in Viveka Samadhi, you will never come back. You will just establish in that super consciousness. Okay, got it? Give me a thumbs up. Yes. So the first thing you need to do on the spiritual path is break the laziness in you, if you have, especially during that early morning Brahma Muhurta time. The Brahma Muhurta time starts from 4 to 6, okay? About 4 to 6 during these 2 hours. Basically, Brahma Muhurta means the period of Brahma, the creation, okay? So that is a time also before the sunrise. The planet Earth is infused with prana shakti, life energy, before the crack of dawn, which before the sunrise, okay? So during that 2 hours band is the best time to do sadhana, and it's also the best time to break your laziness pattern. If you're able to do your morning yoga during that hour for at least 21 days, you'll be able to break the laziness pattern. Understand? That's why Swamiji say, wake up at 4:30, start your yoga at least. Wake up at 4 or 4:30, clean up the body, do your pancha kriyas, and then start doing 1 hour yoga. During this period, break the laziness pattern. You will see how laziness pattern will lose power over you. So wake up before sunrise, work out. Do either 108 Surya Namaskara, or means sun salutation, or other yogasana or pranayama. Just do something with the physical body. Take a bath in the cold water, in a sacred water body. See, in India, like you live in a village or in an ashram or monastery, normally they would take bath in a cold water because the cold water is actually good to strengthen your health. And in a sacred water body, like in a river or in a waterfall, right, a huge water body like a pond. And then sit for your puja. After the yoga, you just take a bath and then start offering your gratitude to the divine. This is the lifestyle. You will see so much of laziness get broken. If you do this, your day is set. You don't even have to worry. You will have so much energy to last you for the whole day. You will break all samskara, all the engraved memories. Once you break 1 or 2 strong samskara, you simply know how to break the other samskara. So the science of breaking samskara is learned. Basically, you can learn it. The science of handling your body and mind is also learned. Understand? It's not something is given. You have to learn it and start doing it. So those of you who don't wake up during Brahma Muhurta time to do your morning yoga, please do it. This is the way to break your laziness pattern. Okay? Give me a thumbs up if you understand who is your biggest enemy now. For any seeker, okay? People who come to Swamiji, they are mainly seekers. Alright, so let's go to the next slide. Okay, you can take a few minutes to contemplate on this insight, okay? Whether you are entertaining any laziness pattern in you, not just physical laziness, okay? Maybe you don't have physical laziness. You do your yoga, you do your routine, you're quite on in your morning practice or your sadhana. But you have this tendency of mental laziness. And the worst is spiritual laziness. There's also a spiritual laziness, okay? So, but first let's handle the mental laziness first, like procrastination, not wanting to face what you need to do. You just try to hold on. So, what type of laziness you're entertaining now, please pen down in your book of heart, because we'll later you're going to do a meditation on that. We're going to contemplate on that. Okay, so just become aware, just scan through your inner space and see what kind of laziness that you're stuck in. Okay, please take a few minutes to write it down.
Always sleepiness, is that?
Yes, that is tamas in the body. Tamas means downers, lethargy in the body, which means you need to break it, no? You need to use very intense fire to burn that thing away. Huh? Okay? You need to infuse a lot of awareness. Falling into sleep in unnecessary during the time you should be awake is symptomatic of powerlessness in the body, physical body. Hmm? So, you guys finished writing in your book of heart? Breaking the laziness pattern, whether it's mental laziness, physical laziness, spiritual laziness. Can I go on to the next insight? Yes? Let's proceed to the seventh insight. He said, make a cognitive shift. So what Swamiji is trying to say here, he said every night, whether you want it or not, you have to fall asleep, correct? But you have a choice to whether to fall asleep in an agitated mood or get back to the supreme state of well-being and fall asleep. See, falling asleep every night, you have the option of falling asleep in the stressful state or not from the space of completion, or falling asleep in the space of completion so that you come back to the supreme state of well-being. So he said, I'm not going to ask you to meditate separately to fall into supreme state. Then immediately you will have 1,008 reasons why you can't meditate. These are for the lazy people. You will say, oh, you're too busy. What if all the people who are meditating are jobless? As if all the people who are meditating are jobless. Say, I'm not going to give you a chance to give that excuse. This is Swamiji speaking to all his followers. He says, the state of well-being is a simple shift in your consciousness, understand? Which has no particular requirements at all, either in time or in space or in your actions. It is just a decision, a conscious decision, conscious cognitive shift. Just understanding this is enough. It will lead you to the cognitive shift. So understand, making a cognitive shift is what determines what you're going to manifest. Next slide. Let me continue. He said, constantly, every moment in between one agitation to another agitation, the supreme wellness is perceived. It is experienced by your mind. Okay, whatever you're experiencing is through the mind. So please understand, when I use the word mind, I mean the binary process of 010101, the binary process of wellness, agitation, wellness, agitation. One moment you feel at peace, one moment you feel agitated, one moment you feel at peace, one moment you feel agitated again. So these keep shifting, right? Good thought, bad thought, good thought, bad thought. Just keep happening, because that's the way how the mind works. One moment you'll be in some good thought, and some moment some bad thoughts will occur. So constantly this wellness agitation is happening in you. The agitation is what you sometimes name as thought, sometimes like mood swings, sometimes like emotions, sometimes as decisions, sometimes as intelligence. But whatever name you may give for that agitation, it is agitation. Understand? Sometimes you call agitation as emotional outbursts, like you just burst into anger, frustration. Sometimes you call it as lust. Sometimes you call it as anger. Sometimes you call it as greed. Sometimes you call it as guilt. Sometimes you call it as engram. Sometimes you call it as maya. Sometimes you call it as mass hysterical belief. So all the different labels human being create, whatever name you may give it, you are an embodiment of this binary. You have negative thoughts, and then you have this peaceful thought and all that. So you keep shifting from these two zones. Okay. So fortunately, God, divine, Paramashiva, has not disowned you. Understand? He said, the programming itself is such that every agitation has to drop into the supreme state of positive peace. So from that agitation, you will fall into that peace. But every moment of the positive peace does not need to end in agitation. Understand? You don't need to fall back to the 0101 binary. Understand? Everyone should fall into zero, but every zero does not need to fall into one. Zero is the peaceful part of you. Okay, that means zero. The one is where the agitated part of you. So the decision to continue to be in zero, the decision to continue to be in a positive peace, the decision to continue to reside in the supreme well-being is what Swamiji called as Jiva Mukti, living enlightenment. We give the book Jiva, Living Enlightenment, be a Jiva Mukta, that means the liberated one, the one who is liberated from this kind of mental setup. Okay, so a Jiva Mukti is a person who is living in enlightenment, where you're constantly able to shift into the supreme well-being. You're not operating at the binary logic of 01010101. Okay, so stop believing that your agitation makes you a hero. Sometimes you think that if you express the lust in the body, you look like a hero. Sometimes you think that if you encourage and support and express your anger, you look like a hero. Wow, somebody is giving me attention, because when I scream, everyone is frightened and looking at me, and they just do what I told them to do. Just look in the mirror. Your anger is not cute at all. Your lust is not cute at all. If you are carrying any idea that your anger or your lust makes you unique, special, or great, just dump that idea, for goodness sake. Just dump that stupid idea you carry, that, oh, whenever I'm entertaining all this kind of agitation, I look cool, I look attractive, I look like a hero. These are all BS, I call bullshit, that your mind is creating in you. So no, just Swamiji said, dump that idea. It is unfortunate that humans have a strong belief that agitation makes them a hero. Your agitation does not make you beautiful or graceful. In fact, it makes you ugly. It is the ability to stay in the zero, in the peaceful state, well-being state. It is the ability to stay in the supreme positive peace, in the restful awareness, that makes you graceful, joyful, and great. Understand? People who are calm and peaceful and loving, compassionate, blissful, they are the ones who are radiating the divine grace, the joy. It's not those people who are agitated. So it's very unfortunate that from young age, whenever you show your anger, you are seen as powerful. Society gets frightened and people are afraid of you. So when people are afraid of you, they ban in front of you. Understand? This is what, be very clear. Don't entertain that. Don't give this kind of stupid idea to the children, especially. You know how children, when they start throwing tantrum, they scream, they just, before, to get what they want, they just throw tantrums, they just scream, they just become violent, etc. Now, if you entertain that, you give them a false idea that just by using this kind of behavior, they get what they want. And that is very dangerous. Understand? Because you will give them the false cognition that this is the way to, to survive in society. This is the way how society will give me what I want. This is the way how society will be afraid of me. So don't even entertain this, okay? Because in society, this is where many people are stuck. So banning in front of you in fear is not the same as banning in front of you because you're a hero. But you believe that the fear is respect. It makes your whole life a mess, okay? Fear is never going to bring any positive outcome. Fear in itself is Maya. It's shadow, right? That does not have a positive existence, okay? So next slide. So it is time every individual brought positive peace into their being. The peak of creation without agitation is what I call positive peace. That means you're so creative without any agitation. The peace of the peace of crematorium, right? The peace of burial ground, that you go to a cemetery, the burial ground, will be created by politicians. The kind of peace, the kind of silence is dead peace. But the creative peace can be created by only enlightened beings. Understand? Enlightened being kind of peace created by them is called creative peace. Let you create positive peace that can be perceived by the intelligence from reality. Understand? Not those so-called dead peace, the stale peace that in the burial ground. So being centered on the space of zero, the space of innermost intelligence, is what Bhagavan calls as being established in the state of supreme well-being, where the positive peace is perceived. Let peace prevail on planet Earth. Let peace prevail in the cosmos. Let peace prevail in the universe, and let peace prevail in every individual. Okay? Understand? Great. So now you can contemplate on this cognitive shift, making the cognitive shift. How to make this cognitive shift of peace rather than agitation. Let's say sometimes you are struggling. You're struggling with being peaceful, okay? So when you're entertaining a lot of negative thoughts, bad thoughts, for instance, how to get back to that positive peace again? When you fall into the low of negativity, whether it's negative emotion or anger, negative feeling of guilt, feeling powerless within yourself, how are you able to make that cognitive shift and shift back to the intelligence, which is positive peace? The positive peace is where you create the creative peace also. The creative peace Swamiji talk about. Contemplate on this insight, okay? I'll give you a few minutes to contemplate on this insight before we move on to the last clip of the day. Yes? So here Swamiji is trying to impart this powerful cognition of how to shift from agitative state to the state of positive peace, from 1 to 0. It's just a conscious declaration. Not to give life to this agitation. All right, so let's go on to the last insight, the 8th insight. Coping with uncertainty. This is like everybody will go through at some point in their life. Coping with uncertainty. Understand? See, he say, I will share a few words on uncertainty and coping with this uncertainty. It is a deeply engraved quality of matter to be certain. Let's say you're established in matter, body or mind. See, body and mind are matter. Understand? If you are perceiving yourself as this body and mind, be very clear. You have this tendency to want to be certain, because matter always wants certainty. Matter is always certain. So the material part of you always wants everything to be certain. The material part, the matter part of you wants to feel secure, certain. That is why whenever the spirit, the spontaneity takes over, whenever life brings some changes in front of you, some sudden unexpected movements, you call that uncertainty. When life spontaneously show you something and you're not prepared, you didn't expect it, you call it uncertainty. So matter by its very nature is certain. Consciousness by its nature is spontaneity. If you establish more and more in consciousness, you become a very spontaneous being. When you are not able to handle spontaneity, the name you give for that spontaneous moment is uncertainty. Understand? Spontaneous moment equals to uncertainty. So if you look at uncertainty, it sounds like a negative connotation, right? You feel like, oh, I don't want to be uncertain. It's so scary. I cannot know what to do, what to plan. No, he said, but when you establish in consciousness, spontaneity is way of life. You don't need to plan, you just flow with life. See, the very word of uncertainty carries a kind of condemnation in it, disrespect in it. So that's why when you don't have the right understanding, if you establish only seeing everything from the mind or the body-mind, the matter, you will not embrace consciousness because you are afraid of this spontaneity, because you only want certainty. Okay? So the very word of uncertainty carries a lot of condemnation. That means you don't feel comfortable. You don't think it's something good to have. You don't embrace uncertainty. Next slide. So first you need to stop creating this constant illusion of certainty. This liking for certainty is an illusion. Understand? Whenever you face uncertain moments, understand life is in front of you. Whenever you're uncertain, life is there. This is life. Consciousness is in front of you. Handle it, play with it, live it. There are some moments where you can change the matter and get rid of the uncertainty. But there are some moments you just need to live with it. So Swamiji is giving you this truth. In front of the situation, the moment, yes, you face uncertainty. Sometimes you can change something and you'll be able to get rid of the uncertainty. Like for instance, you do not know what is going to happen if you make this decision, but you decided that you're going to make this decision and you came out from this uncertainty. You know that, okay, so once I make the decision, I'm ready to face what comes. Okay, so you move from the uncertainty to the certainty. But there's some moments where you need to live with it. It is going to be uncertain. You just have to live with it. No matter what you fix, it is going to be uncertain. Okay, so that is he gives a very, very powerful solution to handle uncertainty. See, our big confusion is about how to make this decision. When should we handle uncertainty? When should we change it? Right? So you say, okay, what should we do when we face this uncertainty? How should we make the decision? He said, I tell you, be prepared to handle uncertainty 24 hours. That means what? 24/7. Be comfortable with uncertainty. That courage will take care even during those moments when you need to change the uncertainty. Understand? This is being ferocious. See, when you have clarity that life is uncertain, you stop praying for certainty or stop hoping for certainty. Stop expecting for certainty. You know that life is uncertain. Just learn to handle that. It is going to be the way of life. Life is uncertainty. So let me develop the courage to handle it, to live with it. Right? It's just one way. You can't change. The fact that life is going to be uncertain is not within your control. There's a higher force at work. It's not within your control. So when it's not within the control, why are you trying to force it to happen and then get yourself in a mess? So then the way to flow with that life, what we call life, is to have the courage to take care even this moment. If you need to change, you will be able to fall in tune. If not, you just learn how to live it spontaneously. Okay? So that is one way of coping with uncertainty. Just prepare to handle uncertainty 24 hours. That is part of life. Then you will learn how you become smart and have the courage to go through it. Next slide. So the basic thing that you need to do is decide to handle uncertainty consciously. Go through it. Just be conscious when uncertainty appears in front of you. Just be conscious and go through it. That courage is enough. When you are courageous to handle it, that is enough. Whenever uncertainty comes, if you can change the outer, do changes in the outer world, you will start changing it. Whenever the consciousness forces itself on matter with uncertainty, matter claims that as chaos. Oh, I'm having chaos in my life. Do not let your matter claim chaos in your life. Chaos is nothing but your declaration. Don't declare emergency. Don't declare chaos. Like you say, oh, my life is a mess. I'm in such a chaos. Life is such a chaos because that's what you declare. Whenever whatever you call as chaos or emergency happens, declare spontaneity. Declare that you're going to be spontaneously handle it. Put a board on the table saying, now I'm living spontaneously. Just remind yourself, you're going to be living spontaneously from now on, so that you are not going to get stuck with this idea of certainty. You want to feel certain. See, Shiva, in his Shiva Sutra, declares very beautiful in one of the Shiva Sutras, said, live in utter insecurity is enlightenment. Understand? If you want to live as enlightened being, living in utter insecurity is the way of life. This is an indication of the strength of your ability to live, to flow with life, trusting life. So when you live in utter insecurity, your intuition, intelligence, everything is awakened by force. Suddenly a higher intelligence get awakened, your leadership consciousness get awakened. Because of this utter insecurity, you have to operate at a higher frequency. Just by demand, it is awakened. Uncertainty is life. Just live it. Okay? So uncertainty is life. Live with uncertainty. This is the way living enlightenment happens in you when you start flowing with uncertainty. Don't feel the insecurity. Just be comfortable with living in utter insecurity. Then you'll be fine. So what? If you lose all your money, so what? If you lose your job, so what? I'm still alive. Let me just, be that spontaneous energy to be able to live, still living it. So that is what makes you a different being on planet Earth. And not falling into depression, falling into sadness, falling into low mood of, not able to handle uncertainty or insecurity or life in chaos. Hey, life is chaotic, but how do you live with a chaotic life? Just like if you remember, just 3 years back, we had this COVID pandemic, right? The COVID pandemic created so much insecurity in everybody's life, correct? You got locked down, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. Everything is like you feel so suffocated, right? It's chaos and uncertainty. You do not know when this is going to stop, when I'm ever going to be traveling again. I cannot even take a plane. When I go to even places, go to nearby coffee shop, I still have to wear masks and all this kind of have to be wary of people who may pass me the COVID virus. So there's so much uncertainty, right? Remember, it was just a few years back only that we were living in that utter insecurity of this virus and do not know what is going to happen, right? But if you understand, this is part of the way to strengthen you, be able to flow in life and not falling into the low. That's why people who are not able to handle it, they fall into depression during the COVID time. Those people who are able to awaken their higher intelligence, the intuition, they become wiser, they're able to weather through that period without getting too much into suffering. Okay, next slide. So contemplate on this, the last insight, the 8th insight. Okay, please contemplate on this. If you have
last insight is what? Life is uncertainty.
Yes, life is uncertainty. We go back to previous slide, Nandita. Coping with uncertainty. How do you cope with uncertainty? Are you able to cope with uncertainty? Just look inside your life. Let's say last 5 years, for instance. You may have some changes in your life, whether it's changing job, facing the COVID pandemic, maybe a health issue, like you discover you have some health problem and you feel the uncertainty that you may die or your health is going to get worse. All kinds of uncertainty, health, career, relationship, or marriage, spiritual, life. Like the time in last December or November, I got faced uncertainty of being removed from the Sangha. I was like, okay, very calm. Okay, this is what I need to do. Okay, I'll do it. That's it. See, just flow in life, even though it's utter insecurity. Yeah. See, one thing I must say, Swamiji trained me very well. Every time you put me to test, it's always a training. Understand? Every time Guru put you into a test, it's just a training. That means he need to see that you are able to go beyond that thing that you're still stuck, or he feels that you need to be prepared for the next level of expansion. Your next level of expansion hinge on your ability to live in utter insecurity. Understand? So every time he threw me to certain situation where I'm living in utter insecurity, and the moment I'm able to awaken the higher intelligence and come out of it, you have no idea the tremendous strength, that you cross that hurdle, or you cross that moment of uncertainty. You're able to handle it spontaneously. Makes you stronger, makes you live enlightenment. Understand? So that is the secret. Guru always tests, Paramashiva always tests you to make you more and more drop this fear of living with uncertainty, fear of insecurity. So please pen it down, whether you are having this issue, inability to cope with uncertainty. Being inundated with uncertainty, you feel like you're up to your eyeballs, you're being swallowed by uncertainty, and you feel that you totally lose it. You're not able to stand yourself and rise up above uncertainty. Ask any question you may have regarding these 4 insights that Swamiji revealed. Okay, very powerful insight in today's lesson 2. Very, very useful and very practical for all of us. Whether it's coping with uncertainty, whether it's handling phobias, whether it's how to make a cognitive shift, etc. So all the 4 clicks that you received today from his satsang, see how it is affecting you. Okay, so we'll take a few moments. Close your eyes. Now that you've penned down, go on to the next slide, Anandyata. We'll do next slide. So we'll internalize these 4 powerful cognition for a few minutes in meditation. Okay, so whatever you have written, let Swamiji show you. Connecting with him, I'm going to play the Mahavakya for a few minutes for us to digest. Okay? So close your eyes. You can wear the eyeband if you have. Otherwise, just close your eyes. Sit with the back straight. Take these few minutes to contemplate on the 4 clicks revealed by Swamiji, the 4 powerful insights from the Avatar, where he revealed the nature of the mind, the nature of the samskara and grave memories and brains that make us lose the intelligence or the creative peace. So just contemplate what your life has been with regards to these 4 insights, and how you're going to declare your completion, what you're going to do as a decision to get back to the zero, the positive peace he talked about. how to fall into the unshakable you. It means the spiritual strength that you are never shaken by anything in the outer world. How not to be weighed down by laziness, whether it's physical laziness, mental laziness, or spiritual laziness. Relax. You can open your eyes now. So I hope you get certain insight within you. Andata, can you take a screenshot of the attendees today? So basically, I want to, before I conclude, any question whatsoever regarding today's insights from Swamiji, his satsang? Do you find it useful? Give me a thumbs up if you find it useful for your daily life. Huh? Yeah. Today's insight is very, very practical, very, very relevant for any seekers. Anyone, as long as you are spiritually inclined, these 4 clicks will work on you. That means these 4 clicks, all of us should be prepared to have. So, no question. If there's no question, then I'll end the session with the Puna mantra. I hope you guys.
I have a question.
Okay. Yes, Paul.
Yeah. The part about the the cognitive shift about if let's say we feel a bit of agitation. So, I mean, personally for me, I would go out to get some fresh air. Or maybe some sunshine. That I mean, for me, I find that helps, or just connecting with nature. Just now, actually, during this short meditation, I did realize that actually all we need to do is to like centering and like taking deep breaths, closing my eyes actually also helps.
Yeah. See, the whole point is to fall back to your center. Falling in tune with the center is what you need to do. Some people is going to the nature and connect with nature. Some people is maybe do some breathing. Some people is doing some yoga. So just bring yourself back to that center. There are many 1,001 techniques. You can even sit in meditation and do unclutching, right? You only unclutch from all this agitation. You just again fall back to the space of well-being, positive peace. So many methods are applicable depending what suits you, what you prefer. So, like for some people, it's just maybe just go and cook a storm and just enjoy, or some people just go for a swim, or some people just center the self and just do the completion and then just declare completion with this. So there are many different methods to again and again move back to the zero rather than the agitation. Okay, so
Right.
find whatever way suits you.
And one more question. So, because I do realize that even since young, I actually don't really sleep very much, or I can say that my mind is also pretty active even at night. So if based on just now what I learned, then it probably means that I can still work more physically and mentally, is it? Yeah.
Yes, that means, see, it's not the number of hours of sleep that matters, it's the quality of the sleep that matters, right? If you, Swamiji once told us, 4 hours of deep sleep is more than enough for you to last for the whole day.
He said 2 hours is enough.
It's all for people who live in Ada, for people in Ada only 4 hours. Okay, see, to even get from 8 hours to 4 hours to 2 hours, the whole point is your body structure and your consciousness need to evolve, right? You cannot still be like laziness, and then of course you will not be able to sustain a 4 hours sleep on a daily basis. See, my body has got used to sleeping for 4 hours since 2012. The 2012-13, that's the year where I took up the Nirahara Samyama level 4. That means ability to live without food, solid food forever. It's a decision, a choice if I want to, which means I can draw energy from prana, from just drinking. So that freedom is there. So it's just basically a decision for you if you want to be able to evolve your system, to be able to improve the quality of sleep by sleeping less hours but more quality instead of quantity. You can have that, but you need to evolve the body. You need to train the body to be able to handle that.
Okay. Right. Thank you.
That's all? No other questions? Okay, so shall we wrap up? Thank you all for coming to this session. Let's conclude with the Purna mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sovam Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Paduka Paramastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you, Nithyanandam. See you all next week. Hey, Anandata, or some other slides. Okay, never mind. We'll see you next week again.